Hello, everybody. I'm Mickey, and I am Not Your Mama's Minister. And today I'm going to take a little bit of a break of our movie reviews, and I'm going to talk to you about something that I've been seeing recently. Now, nobody likes a troll. Nobody does. However, I really don't usually have a problem if somebody wants to stay on point or keep it factual, or if they are bringing up something that maybe the person could work on. But recently I've noticed a trend of saying, well, I paid $500 for this reading or for this spiritual work, Love Spell. We'll go with Love Spell. I paid $500 for this love spell. First of all, $500, ouch. That's a lot of money. And turns out that the work that she did is something that you could find on the internet or in a book that somebody else could have published. So I'm not even going to address the money part of it. I'm going to address well, you could find that anywhere. Yes, absolutely. For example, there is I think she's an Instagram person, but I love the things that she puts together, and she does hoodoo. And so I noticed that some of her trolls or critics were talking about, first of all, about her being white and teaching about hoodoo or practicing hoodoo. So let me explain something. Hoodoo is a combination, this meshing, melting pot of a lot of different cultures. It's a lot of different marginalized cultures. I've talked about it before, but I probably haven't put it in a video. But it's a blending. So you had the Mennonites, the Amish, the Native Americans, the slaves, and then the indentured slaves of the white community as well. And so when you're talking about hoodoo, it is, and I've said this before, it is a completely American practice because it was a bunch of people who were new to this country, and then of course the indigenous people here getting together and saying, wait a second, oh yeah, that leaf will work for this. The same thing that you're wanting to do with the spell work that you've done over in Europe, let's say, is you can use this for the same thing. So it was a big blend of cultures and religious practices and spiritual practices, mystical practices. And so, yeah, her being white should have nothing to do with it. One of the most wonderful hoodoo, well known hoodoo practitioners is a Jewish woman. So I think that to bring her ethnicity or her race into it kind of negates the education that she's giving for people. So I went ahead and looked through some of her things because I wanted to see, okay, so is she wrong? And she's not. Some of the things that she posts are things that I think she may have added or taken away from, but most of it is things that anybody who practices hoodoo and many who practice Santeria, voodoo, and some of the what you might call darker uh, uh, mystical paths definitely those things are taken from that or work with that. And so I don't know necessarily that you could accuse her of stealing from these things that have been passed down and educated and re-educated and so forth and so on. We all do that. That's the reason that there's bookstores that have sections of candle magic and other spell work. So to say that, oh well, you're just copying somebody else's work, well, how old is she? Of course she's probably copying somebody else's work because I'm 50, almost 51, and I know that I have taken a lot of my practice from what has been handed down throughout the years. And so that is why we have that education available to each other so that we can take from different practices. I'm not a Christian, and yet I use Psalms in a number of my rituals. And so you have to, if you're going to be a troll, and if you're going to be a troll towards mystical practitioners, one, you should probably make sure that they can't curse you with your dick falling off. Two, make sure that it's valid. It's a valid argument. Those are valid arguments. Of course, she takes from other people and other practices. That's not a bad thing, because if there is anything that an ethical spiritual advisor wants to teach, that is teach others how to do for themselves. Um, and then having to do with the cost, if you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars with a practitioner and things aren't getting better, yes, none of this stuff can be guaranteed, none of it can be scientifically proven or anything like that. And but when you come to a reader and or a practitioner and you say, this is what I'm needing done, and they agree to do it, and they tell you this is what to expect, and then let's say nothing works, it doesn't work, you go back and have them try something else, and which we can absolutely do that. But if they're charging you hundreds and thousands and hundreds of dollars, then you need to take a step back and look at, what am I getting out of this? If you feel good going to see them and doling out the money to them, then that's awesome. But if you are continuously going into debt, if you're going into debt, if you're missing your bills, if this has become an addiction for you, because anything can become an addiction, if this is becoming an addiction, then you need to seriously rethink that. Maybe see a different practitioner. But there are con artists out there who aren't doing anybody any good. And so just always use your head. Use your head. And as for the trolls, I hate to say it, but the fact is that this is a pseudoscience, so to speak. And so we can't. We wish that we could. We wish that we could reproduce the same effects every single time throughout the years and say, yes, this is a guarantee. We wish that we could. But you getting on there and saying, oh, well, this is something that this other person posted. Yeah, a lot of us know and do the same things. It's just, that's how it works. It's like boiling eggs. You still put the egg in the water and boil it to a specific temperature for a specific amount of time, and across the world, people are doing it the same way. Doesn't mean anybody stole anything or is a copycat or I see that somebody else is doing the same thing. You went to that gal for a reason. So unless you are just a glutton for punishment, you continued to go to her and spend money with her. So you had to have been getting something out of it. So I think that's it. Anything else? Nope. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk to you soon.